5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we are back once again with the Off the Top podcast. Shout out to everyone listening. Shout out to the YouTube. Shout out to the Spotify. Shout out to the iTunes. Shout out to everyone. Just shout out to everyone.
Everybody.
Shout out to Game of Thrones fans too, because this podcast is for you. All right, so we just watched episode 5.
Episode 5.
So the second last episode of Game of Thrones. And, we came in here recording. And so, Gaurav, how did you feel about that episode?
It was probably... I say this every episode, I feel like. But it was probably the best episode of the season.
Yeah.
It might even be the best episode in episode history for all the shows. I don't know. It might be the best episode of Game of Thrones, period. You know?
To me, it's definitely the darkest.
It was evil. It's really... Like, there was so much... It was darkest in the sense that there was innocents being killed, but it was also darkest in the sense that all the characters, they had like a turning point in them, especially Daenerys, you know? So what do you think about the episode in total?
I mean, it's hard to talk about because like you just witnessed like literally everything just switch up on us. Like so like obviously Dany, like she's shown that this is what she was capable of, but everyone had hope that she was not going to be like this. Like you know? Like to people that we like, we watch it with people, and they speak like they were speaking how like Dany, at the end of the day, like she's shown these flashes of the Mad Queen, but they didn't believe that she would fully go over the edge like that. So to see her fully go over the edge, it was super entertaining. It was super dark the way they were just burning people in the streets. Like I honestly think this might be darker than the Red Wedding, to be honest.
I think so too.
Just due to the fact that like these are all innocent people that he's burning down, destroying the whole there's a million people live in that city, and then when you look at the trailer, like it doesn't look like there's a lot of people that she killed a lot of people.
She burned the city, like the whole city
to the ground.
Yeah. So we do have a list of things that we want to cover in the whole thing. Yeah. So let's start off the top and we'll make our way down.
Okay. So this is something I observed watching it. So people that are watching it live. There was a preview in the beginning where it just showed, it was like everyone, like it was just dialogue from a bunch of people talking to Dany over the thing, and I noticed how it ended off with Viserys, so Dany's brother Viserys, and he was saying, "Oh, you don't want to see me unleash the dragon." Right. And I think that kind of set the tone for the whole episode because Dany unleashed the dragon. And so that's just an observation I wanted to point out. And so if you didn't catch that, if you didn't watch it live like we did, and you didn't catch that, then that's just something for you thing. I really wish though they took that montage scene and so you know how she was sitting on top of the towers waiting, like just watching the Red Keep and just like, all right, now I'm gonna kill her. I feel like if they incorporated that montage scene into that, and the last thing we heard was Cersei said, "You don't want to unleash the dragon," and we came back to Dany's face and she was furious. I think that would have just made that moment that much better.
Yeah, when does he say that?
It was like the preview. When you watched it live, there's always a preview.
No, I mean, when did he say that
like the first season?
In the first season, right? Yeah. When he's talking,
to Dany, so Dany's like, "Oh, I don't want to marry." He says that a couple of times, but Dany, it was probably when Dany said he didn't want to marry Khal Drogo, right? And then he's like, "How I'll let the entire Dothraki fuck you just to be the king and shit." Yeah, it's probably during that dialogue, but yeah, that's something I witnessed, and that was that I pointed that I took from it. And another thing I just want to kind of talk about before we go into everything that happened in the show. Do you think her descent to madness was kind of rushed?
Her descent to madness.
Like, do you think the way she just turned into mad was kind of rushed?
I think so. There was no signs of her becoming mad in season 7. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I haven't watched paid attention to it that much.
I think it was like a this season arc.
There was a this season type of thing, right? Yeah.
Like it's always been there. Like we always thought yo, is she gonna be good? Is she gonna be bad? Yeah. She always said, I'm gonna burn him down. Like in season 5, she says to when she says when my dragons are grown, I'm gonna tear you guys to thing. But
so she's always been mad, but then there's external influences that make her
Yeah, so
decent.
like, and these are influences that like even regular people go through, like losing people. She lost her friend Missandei. She sacrificed half her army for a fight that wasn't even her own, right?
Yeah.
John does, like in this episode we're gonna talk about, but John seems to not want to be with her.
Yeah.
Romantically, so she lost that. She executes like one of her advisors, Varys, is plotting against her. She feels Tyrion has been wrong so long she barely trusts Tyrion. So, like, this whole time she had like she had all these advisors and people keeping her in check. Even though when she's had those thoughts, she would have someone to bring her, like, okay, like, you know, calm down. Like Jorah would be there, calm down. Or Tyrion would be like, there, calm down. Or Barristan Selmy in the one season he was there, calm down. Missandei, calm down. Like, you know, she had all those people, and now every single one of those people are gone. So there's no one there to stop her.
And on top of that, she's on top of a dragon when she's thinking of all this stuff. And the smile she gave right before she flew away was so evil, I guess. You know, for when I first watched it, I thought it was like nice and she's being nice and stuff. But then after I realized, yo, this is evil. Yeah. You know, up there.
And when you think about it, like when you're that close to your goal and like you see your goal in your eye, it just makes you go that much harder. And I think that just flicked something on for her. So yeah, it was crazy. All right, so first point of the episode, it starts with Varys. Yeah. All right, Varys does his things. He talks to a little bird, like his spies and shit. So obviously he's trying
to get the message across. Yeah, right? Yeah.
He tried poisoning her. So.
Oh, is that what he did?
Yeah. So he's like, oh, has she ate? Like she's like, has she eaten yet? And the little girl's like, no. She's not eating.
I didn't catch that. Oh, no way.
Yeah, so he's trying to kill Dany because that's obviously easier for him, right? So they go through all that, and then so Tyrion tells Dany, and then so Dany executes Varys. So that's a rest in peace to Varys. Very good character in the show.
Very good character in the show. He's easily one of those characters that you grow to like. And you respect. He's one of those respectable characters.
Yeah, he's very respectable. At the end of the day, and he says it before he dies, like, he hopes he's wrong. He hopes Dany's great. But
he was right.
He was right. Yeah. At the end of the day, he was right. Which just kind of sucks. But
which is going to be interesting to see in the next episode how these people react to what Dany did. Yeah. Because what she did isn't light. Like, that's probably the biggest thing in Game of Thrones. Like, timeline that happened. Burning down of King's Landing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about all that stuff. But yeah, so Dany executes Varys. Yeah. Pretty much that's like your first hint that she's going that route. Yeah. Even though Varys did conspire to kill her and stuff, that's like your first sign. Because like you see her in the room talking to Tyrion, like she's undone, like she's been crying, she's losing it for sure. So Jon goes and talks to Dany. And Jon, so Dany makes a move at Jon, and Jon kind of rejects it. So to break that down, Targaryens are used to inbreeding in their line. They do it for centuries. Yeah. So for Dany, that's not a big deal for her. That's why she
doesn't care about it.
She doesn't care about that. They do it to keep their bloodlines pure, whatever. Jon, although he is a Targaryen, technically, he was raised in the north.
He cares. Yeah, that's why. Is that the reason he backed away from Dany at that point? I think so. Or was it because she is kind of going crazy and he senses that in a different way?
I genuinely think he's backing away because it's her aunt. His aunt. I think that's what it is. But yeah, so I think if anything, the whole thing, the whole episode, I think that might have been the pushing point, the tipping point of it
for her.
Because
I don't know, man. I just don't see what the tipping point for her was, because she's been raped. She's been hope has lost her, and I guess she has lost hope in many different circumstances throughout the show. Yeah, she hasn't done anything that violent because probably she didn't have that much power. Yeah. So I'm thinking, but
she's never been that close to her goal.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't know if Dany's emotionally that weak to fall so easily.
I definitely think she is that weak. I think she was just stopped by a bunch of people, but. At that moment, Tyrion's not gonna go in her ear and pull her and be like, "No, don't do it." Like she was all the way up there.
Or maybe she's just following what she said of breaking down the wheel.
I don't think she broke the wheel. I think she. I mean,
technically she did, right? Because she broke the top of the wheel, which kind of everyone's fighting for King's Landing.
Yeah, but
one
now she's
after
just on
one.
the top of the wheel. She didn't like just like
Yeah.
you know, like breaking the wheel would be like inserting a democracy, like, you know, changing the system. But what she
Yeah.
did was she killed the queen so she can take a thing. So it's another spoke on the wheel. Just keep moving.
Yeah,
moving.
yeah.
You know, she didn't really change anything, right? She played her role in that part of being the
Mhm.
next person on the top, right? So yeah, that probably is the final tipping point. I think just the fact that that was the last person that she loved and had kind of just pushed her away.
Yeah.
And then she says, "Oh, what did she say? She said, is that how it is or something? Or so it's like she said something.
So no, she said, so it's fear then.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
She said so it's because they were talking about love or fear, and
Yeah.
then John's like, I love you, and then she's like,
Yeah,
Is that all?
Westeros has love for you, but
Yeah.
they fear me. After that, Tyrion's talking to Thing. They find out that Jaime has been captured. So Jaime, he left Brienne to go back to Cersei. So Cersei's almost like an addiction for him.
yeah,
So no matter how much he has like a great girl in Brienne and all that stuff, and he could start a new life and thing, whatever.
yeah.
Cersei is a drug.
Cersei is his Cersei's his.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what he wants at the end of the day. Like, even though he knows it's bad for him, he knows at the end of the day that that's what he would die for. That's what he loves.
Exactly.
So he goes back. They capture him, trying to pass the lines. And then so Tyrion helps him escape. But before that, Dany was like, oh, if you fuck up again, that would be the last time you fuck up.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna lose Tyrion this episode.
You think we're gonna lose
I
Tyrion?
think so.
I think I don't know if we're gonna lose Tyrion. Tyrion may become the right hand of Jon when he becomes the.
Oh, you
the
think
guy.
he'll be?
Yeah, I think he'll switch sides because Tyrion saw Dany like burn the city down. He was against it the whole time. He didn't
Yeah.
say it, but you could tell.
I think right when they pull up to the center of the
Yeah.
thing, I think Dany's gonna see Tyrion and be like you know, find and know she's gonna know that Jaime got released, and she's gonna like cut his head off or something, or like burn him. I think he's done. I don't think he gets away with it.
Maybe there's no way to tell, right? Speculation, but
Yeah, I think he's.
but at the right now, like all guns are pointing towards Dany. You know, nobody
Yeah.
likes her.
Yeah.
Nobody
but
likes
she
her.
still has all the power. No, but the thing is, the Dothraki and the Unsullied are still gonna follow her regardless.
Yeah, they're gonna follow her.
So they're the
regardless.
bulk of the army. So she has bulk of the army, and she has a dragon.
Yeah.
So realistically, Jon doesn't really have that much power.
So it's
And-
gonna be interesting to see which way the show goes towards. You know.
Yeah,
But Jon does have the backing of the people in Westeros.
yeah, but the backing of the people won't help him right there in that vicinity.
In that situation,
because they're right.
yeah.
They're gonna be right there. So like, it's like are you gonna bend the knee now?
Mhm.
Are you still? Am I still your queen, or am I gonna burn you alive? It's that kind of situation, right?
Yeah.
So at that
she's
point,
really evil now. Huh?
yeah, I think she's lost it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So Tyrion helps Jaime escape, and I like that scene a lot. It was the last time we see Jaime and Tyrion together.
Yeah.
Very emotional scene. You know, Tyrion's crying like, "Yo, you're the only reason why I survived my childhood. You're the only person that didn't see me as a monster." You know, it was very touching. It was, and that kind of sets the tone for this entire episode.
That was a really good scene right there.
Yeah.
We really saw emotions in that.
Yeah.
And Tyrion and Jaime, we've seen emotions in them before, but never like together. You know.
The thing is,
And they're characters from day one. So.
yeah, their characters from, and that's exactly it. They've been brothers on screen for like
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 years. So they obviously developed a relationship even in person, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you see that kind of play out on them when they're acting. Like, this is our last scene together and all that stuff. Like, you see that emotion. I think that's
Yeah.
what made that scene very powerful. You know, that's what I liked about that scene. Like, you seen like the
you
real,
see the real,
the
and
realness
fake,
in
yeah.
that. You know. All right, so.
Sure. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, Tyrion so Tyrion was pretty much telling Jaime, "You saved me from when I was about to get killed for killing what's his name, Joffrey." So it's like a repayment, right? He then suggests that he goes and rescues Cersei, gets her out of the city, and start a new life in Pentos, or wherever they can go. But Pentos is what she named. Tyrion, his way of going about it, he was thinking that this was better for the people, because if you get Cersei out of there, they surrender.
And
Cool. So
nobody
Tyrion
dies.
had this master plan, but it didn't work.
Tyrion's a good guy, especially when he said that one
like,
not so innocent dwarf against
hundreds of thousands of lives. Yeah, he was willing to sacrifice himself.
Such a good guy.
Just so he didn't see everyone get burnt. So Tyrion might be he tried his all till the very end. Even then, like even when Dany was on the dragon, he was looking at her like, please don't do it, please don't do it. Like, he was trying to help the people. He at the end of the day, he cares about the people, and you have to admire all that, But yeah, what do you think about? I don't know how I felt about. I mean, obviously, as a brother, he still cares about Cersei and wants them to get away.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how I felt about him wanting him to rescue Cersei, and like kind of get her out of the city. I don't know about that.
To be honest, I felt like that was good. That was a good thing that he did that, because otherwise, then Jaime's character would have been like, what use is he? You know what I mean? I think it's like to end things off, like tie things off.
Yeah.
It was a good thing from the writers that they did that.
He was probably
just to send him and use him to, kind of like in the death scene with Cersei.
He was probably using Cersei as an incentive for him to get her out of there, and like okay, you guys can start a new life if you just leave, and that way they would think. So he had a goal in mind, and he used them two as a thing. So that makes sense.
And like the death of Euron has to be a little more spectacular, right? He killed the dragon.
I think there's a lot more that has to be a little spectacular in this episode. But like,
true too.
Drogon. So
he actually surprised me the most. I'm sad that he didn't have armor, but he didn't need it.
Yeah.
I think you were right. The last episode, you're like, the dragons, once if they're aware that they're getting fired at, they'll be pretty safe.
Yeah.
And this guy was super aware.
Yeah.
And Dany used some serious tactics with him from the sun. From the sun.
I seen that.
Yeah.
When I seen, because the first time I didn't see it, right? It was the sun, and there was like a little bit of thing. I thought it was just a bird. And then Euron, it goes to Euron, and then it looks back, and you see it get bigger, and you're like, oh, Drogon's coming in. That's smart, because the humans can't look into the eye. People can't look into the eye.
That's what they were missing
sun,
and
right?
stuff.
Yeah, so they couldn't see it, and they came in, and Drogon just laid waste to them. Like, he avenged his brothers.
Drogon snapped.
Yeah.
I can't believe that dragon had so much fire in him. Like, does he not run out of fuel?
I don't know how their fire works, but
that was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. So yeah, he lays waste to the Iron Fleet, and so now we can tell, because I think Rhaegal, if they knew that the Iron Fleet was there, they would have probably got away with, they would have been fine.
Yeah.
So we come to that conclusion. After that, it's quiet. The Golden Company on one side. What's their name? The Unsullied, all of them on the other side. We think they're about to go to war.
Golden Company was trash.
Yeah.
Such a hyped thing for no reason.
Okay, so now I get why they didn't do the elephants, because that would have been like another 500,000 just on elephants to burn them. But even then, I think if there were elephants too, it would have been more believable. I think we'd have just been like, yo, like these guys are gonna fuck them up, and then like dragon just burn them. Like it would have been more crazy. But
yeah, they were totally like, they were useless. It was only for the hype, the building of hype and stuff.
It was literally to show us that
Cersei has something. Yeah.
Because like other than that, if it was just the Lannister army, they would have there would have been no hope at all, right? So it just kind of gave Cersei a little bit of hope, if anything, and it gave us a little. We thought it was gonna be a good battle, like it
wasn't.
Yeah,
it was not a good battle at all.
I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see the Golden Company go at it with Unsullied. I think I've talked about it since the beginning of the season. Like the Unsullied versus the Golden Company is what I wanted to see. So it sucks that we didn't get all that, right? Drogon and Dany fly around. They destroy all the scorpions. They just laid waste.
I don't know. Maybe they could have made it a little more,
harder for them.
Yeah, harder for them. It was so easy. She was flying, just destroying everything.
I think they just wanted to show the dominance. So now when we think about it, Dany is just so much more powerful than everyone. Even just her and the dragon. Yeah, she's more powerful than anyone.
Than all the armies.
And now that person that's the most powerful person, maybe ever now, or in a long time, is evil. I think that they're just trying to set that tone where it's like, there's no way Jon is gonna save anyone. There's no way Tyrion's gonna save everyone. There's no way Cersei's gonna save anyone. There's no more there's no way for anyone. I think that's what
mad. Yeah. The next episode is gonna be so crazy. It's the finale too. Yeah. So I don't even know what direction Dany's gonna go in, to be honest. But
Yeah.
from what we know, she's mad.
And I think the last episode is gonna be very political, so it's gonna be a lot of like.
I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I want to see them.
A vintage Game of Thrones, pretty much. It's gonna be very political, where it's like this person talking about this person. They're all scheming to take out Dany.
Yeah.
And then who knows who takes out Dany. So yeah, we didn't get to see the Golden Company fight. So after she destroys all the defenses, she's on top of a thing, on top of a defense tower, one of the towers on the wall, and she's on top of Drogon, and she's just looking at the Red Keep, and she does not take her eyes off the Red Keep for 1 second. She's staring at it. You see the anger building up. I think that's the point where I said where if they played that montage, like it was she
like
was
in her head, just in her head,
like yeah, like she was like thinking of every single moment that people did her wrong and everything bad that happened to her, and it just at the end just ended it with, oh, you don't want me to unleash the dragon. I think that would have just been like, oh fuck, like that would have been like a very chilling moment. Like you would see exactly what she was thinking, right?
Yeah, for sure. But that point right there, like you can't really tell why she did that. Maybe it's her plan from day one.
Maybe
maybe it was this. That's all she wanted to do is just burn down the whole thing.
But if that was her plan, she would have done it when she had 3 dragons. Imagine she still had three dragons. This wouldn't even be a contest. Damn.
Yeah, it was the White Walkers that screwed everything up. Otherwise, she would have done it with 3 dragons.
Exactly. Yeah, she would have had 3 dragons. Yeah, so that's why she would probably be angry at that thing. But like, that's another reason. But yeah, she just stares at it, and me personally, I was screaming at the TV, "Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!" I was just like, "Yo, like, don't do it! Like, it's not worth it, right?" And a lot of people, I've seen people on Twitter posting videos of them screaming at the TV, "Don't do it! Don't do it!" And then when she takes off, it's like, "Oh fuck, we're done."
What a character, huh?
Yeah,
such good acting by her too. Like she's smiling and she's like,
I was gonna point that out. Her acting. If people might not be happy about the way they wrote the character, but the way she executed it was thing. For sure. I actually believe that she was thing.
But if you like look at the starting of the episode, she's like all like, her makeup's all over the place. She's crying. She's going mad. Yeah. Like, she's going mad. Yeah. 100%. And then you see at the end of the episode, she is mad. Yeah. She kind of just like her father, the Mad King. Yeah. Just mad. Yeah.
So she looked at the Red Keep. Boom! It turned personal for her. She made it personal.
It turned personal because that's where her father was murdered and everything. Yeah.
So it just turned personal, and she's like, that building is thing. So she goes at it. Boom.
But yeah, she's crazy to go after the city. She burned most of the city. Or, she only spent a little bit of time on the actual building of the keep. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So so at that point, the Northern soldiers and the Lannister army were at a standpoint. The Lannister army surrendered. Dany's blowing everything. The Northern armies, they pretty much turned on Jon at that point. Because you remember when when that guy was going to rape the girl and Jon killed him? Mm-hmm. That's one of his Northern army mates. So like they're all turning, like
they're turning, yeah.
They in all that ruckus, like everyone's just like their eyes light up. Everyone's turning pretty much evil. Like in a situation where
I don't think they're turning evil. Maybe they're turning like they have that. They know that we're following the wrong person. Yeah. It's not even Jon they're following. They're following the queen. Yeah. Following the wrong person. So screw the queen and screw Jon for taking us here. Yeah. Go run back to Sansa. That type of thing. You know what I mean? So I feel like there was a lot of fear in the soldiers.
So why do you think that
they're lost?
Why do you think that guy went to go rape that girl? The Northerner.
I just think it was a symbol of dominance that North is whooping their ass. You know what I mean? And I feel like that was a symbolic symbol. Yeah.
They're probably just angry at the South.
Yeah, and it was. I don't think it was anger. I think it was just symbolizing that the dominance. The dragon in the air. Yeah. These soldiers are doing this, and North soldiers are I guess they're hungry. Yeah. They haven't had a lot in going good for them in many, many days, many, many months. So I feel like it was a power symbolic. Because why else would they put a raping scene in there? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's so much death going on.
And then the guy tried to kill Jon too.
The guy tried to kill Jon too, yeah.
Like he went to go kill his commander. Like, it's pretty crazy.
And also, I think it was showing the compassion Jon has for people. Yeah. Versus there's Daenerys in the air. Do you know what I mean? I think it was that was probably the most.
That's probably why they did.
Biggest reason is there because they just wanted to show Jon's compassion in a way, and that was.
As Varys said in the beginning of the episode, it's like every time a Targaryen is born, they do a coin flip. Yeah. And the world just gasps and waits, right? So at that point, you see the two polar opposites of the Targaryen, right?
Targaryens are truly evil, huh?
Or they're truly good, like Jon, or like Rhaegar. And,
Yeah.
like, you know, like they're either Viserys or Rhaegar or Dany. Two of them are fucked. That's crazy. I know. Yeah, that's actually.
Even was it Aegon who conquered
Yeah.
Westeros?
He
He burned down stuff too.
Yeah, he had a
Like
little bit crazy.
the castle at Hardhome, I think, or someone. There's a castle that was burned down by dragons.
Fuck the one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. Okay, so after that, Euron and Jaime. Pretty much the fight for Cersei, who's gonna die regardless.
It wasn't. I wouldn't call it a fight for Cersei.
It was
call it
a fight of
for
ego.
just living. You know.
It's whatever. It's what happens at every bar.
Yeah.
And on a Friday night or Saturday night, or every club at a Saturday night. Like, there's a girl. They both, even if they both already dealt with. It's like, oh, I'm better than you. I'm bigger than you. You know,
Yeah.
It's one of those
If
fights.
you dealt with it, just off it. We both live somewhere else.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the city's done anyways.
But what's it called? So, what did you think about that fight? I don't know.
It could have been better.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to focus on that fight a lot, though.
Yeah, I just think it was maybe time filler. It was just a bad cinematic, and it was just a bad way for a character such as Jaime to go away.
Yeah,
But he didn't really go away. But it was
die.
his last moment in the light.
Yeah, it was kind of bad for. I expected more from the death of Euron. I was
Yeah.
expecting like Yara to come and like they completely forgot about the Greyjoys and shit, right? Yeah, like I was expecting like the fact that he died and I mean in Jaime's hand it makes sense because of Cersei and all that stuff, but I don't know. I feel like the main character deaths in this episode were lackluster, and I think that's what I would change. But
maybe Jaime and Cersei. I believe their death was beautiful.
you liked it?
I really liked it. Yeah, I think it was so emotional, and it really appeals to people who like have that kind of chemistry between them and their lover or whatever.
Yeah.
Like her crying, this powerful character from all the whole entire show, crying in the hands of Jaime, who's one of the most loved and good guys. You know, he's just it was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good to see their love going everywhere.
Yeah, we'll go more into the Jaime and Cersei death, obviously, when it comes up. Wildfire, so Dany's blowing everything up.
Yeah.
Wildfire. Okay, so the wildfire that was going out, apparently those are still left over from when the Mad King was breaking the place thing. So they were
the fire was just burning them.
So that kind of just symbolized to me that was the moment where it's like, okay, Mad Queen, because these are her father's traps that she set around to burn up the entire city. She's pretty much just executing his plan.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. What a evil person, huh? She just burned a city of millions of people. Yeah. What an evil person.
After that, Arya says goodbye to the Hound. We're gonna talk about the Clegane Bowl next, but Arya and the Hound, when we think about it, they go back as far as what, like season 2, season 3?
Far, like beginning of Arya's adventure. Like the Hound has played a huge part in the series
in Arya's development. Too.
Yeah, in the series itself.
In the series too, but like more specifically, like Arya wouldn't even be alive if it wasn't for the Hound. Like let's be honest, right? Like, because the Hound was taking care of Arya before she can even fight and all that stuff. I mean, Arya hasn't really been grateful before, but she showed her gratitude at the end, and it was a good way for them to end it off. Because at that point, the Hound knew he was gonna die. He knew it was gonna end. He's like, "Oh, do you want to end up like me?" And that kind of gave her that wake up call. Like, I should probably go back and see this thing through. Yeah, it was good. Clegane Bowl. So RIP to House Clegane. They're done.
Yep, they're done. Do we have a House Clegane flag? Yeah, we do, right?
Yeah.
It's just not up because they're gone.
Yeah, so RIP to them. I think that was probably one of the better parts of this episode.
I have no problems with that fight, except the fact that the guy was a zombie.
Yeah.
He got stabbed in the face and he didn't die. What in the world?
He died, remember? He died before. Remember in the Oberyn Martell fight?
Okay.
He died already.
Yeah.
But Qyburn did some experiments on him and brought him back to life.
A zombie?
He made him whatever he made him, right?
They could have really used him in the White Walker War.
But but Queen Cersei was.
Yeah, I know, but like, wow.
Yeah, he would have been crazy in the White Walker War. But yeah, it was a good way to end them off, I think. Like I think that was the perfect way to end them off.
And if you realize they died in fire.
Yeah.
Just how the Hound got burned in his face, they died in fire.
Just how it started for them. Yeah. So, that was crazy. That was probably one of the highlights of the episode. Like that's one thing that if they didn't include, like if they both died their own separate ways, I would have been kind of pissed off. But like, I like the fact that they died. You think Mountain survived anyway?
No.
No.
That was Dragonfire. They fell from such a height too. This is Dragonfire for sure. Like this, it's done. It's done.
Yeah, I think it's done.
It's a good ending.
Yeah. All right. So after that was Jaime and Cersei's death.
I liked it.
You liked
it.
A
lot of people have complaints. I liked it.
A lot of people have complaints because they're saying, okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate since I think it's good too. I'm not too. I wasn't thrilled about it, but I'm not hating on it either.
Yeah.
But to play devil's advocate, people say that okay, a villain like Cersei deserves a lot worse of a death or a lot more of a something that like remember when what are they called, those religious guys, they had her walking through the
Sept of Seven.
The Sept of Seven, yeah, the fucking, what are they called?
Sept of Seven.
No, they're called something.
Sparrows.
The Sparrows, there you go. So when the Sparrows were dragging her through the city, like they wanted something like that. And I kind of understand where they're coming from with Cersei being the kind of like the main villain throughout the entire show, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get where they're coming from in that aspect, but at the same time, just seeing Cersei kind of like denying that they're gonna lose and stuff until the very end, and then she's like there crying, like I want to save my child. Like you get this rawness from Cersei that you like, and vulnerability that you don't really see, and you see that she's willing to like. At the end of the day, she's not as terrible of a person. I mean, she's terrible for blowing up the Sept, but like other than that, she hasn't really done anything so terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's all for her house and her kids and her brother, like, you know. So I wasn't too like, I liked it. It was good. It was good emotion.
It was it's any other death would have been cliche, like what, make her die by dragon fire, like
yeah.
You have to go inside the keep and get her out first, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I feel like this was a good way for her to go. Like the first couple scenes we've seen with Cersei, like she was with Jaime, and the last scene we seen her was with Jaime hugging him.
Yeah.
It was a good death.
Yeah.
It was definitely, but for both of them, you can't make it better. I mean, you can make it more evil.
Yeah.
But this was a compassionate, loveful death. It was death by love, basically.
It kind of just showed you that even though this whole time, like I've been saying from a get-go, is like that the Night King wasn't the true villain, that Cersei was. It just kind of shows you that even Cersei wasn't the true villain. It was Dany.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're right. That's crazy.
Because when you think about it, like from the beginning of the show, it was Dany on one side of the world and Jon on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
And both their arcs always kind of matched up until the point they connected. And then now they're going up. So like, they literally built up this villain from the beginning, and now she's the villain. Like we find out that she's the villain, and not like she was in on it the whole time kind of thing. It was.
That was
like
the biggest plot twist in ever, and now any show,
Yeah,
she's main character.
Yeah, and I think I think people are hating on it because they haven't had enough time to appreciate it. But I definitely fuck with it. Like, obviously people are gonna complain that it's not as good writing as it was, and I agree with that. Obviously, hasn't been as good a writing as like what season 4 and 5. Those are probably the best seasons in the series, right? But the issue is that they have to tie up loose ends, all that stuff, and on top of that, in those seasons, Daenerys to these people was just a girl on the other side of the world. Like, there's so many different storylines and people and motivations. Now it's like, who's really left that wants to be king or queen? Like 3 people, and they're all in the same place. So you can't
nobody
really
wants it.
You can't have. There's not like all these moving cogs and spokes. It's literally just this. Like, we're at the last piece of the puzzle. So all that stuff that we love from Game of Thrones, like the people conspiring against other people and people with agendas and stuff, we're not gonna get all of that. So that's what made Game of Thrones great for me. Is all the political thing behind, right? But at this point of the season, we weren't gonna get that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I've realized from this episode, is that people are hating on this season. I don't like it so far.
I like it. This was
it's
Cersei's death was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed, but it was kind of like Cersei's and Jaime's whole story was kind of like Romeo and Juliet in the ending, where it was kind of like they died together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They died together, which was really poetic, and I like that.
Yeah, I liked it too. All right, so at the end, Dany destroys everything. She's destroyed all of King's Landing, Arya's running through the city, and I think this was like the last part where it just made you like, yo, fuck Dany, like you know, when like the person that saved Arya, she's trying to help them get through the city, and so I think one of the Dothraki cut her or something, and she can't walk, right? And so she grabs the child. She's like, oh, take the child, make sure she gets safe. Pulling the child away. The child's like, no, pushes her and goes back to her mom, and then the dragon just comes and
burns the child too.
Yeah, and I think that was that last moment where just like, there's no way there's no
way she's going back.
Yeah, like, and even though she's burning everyone, you see it, it's like, yo, like maybe she still like has a little bit of hope. I think that was just like the tipping point of it. It was just like,
yeah, it's just like they hit us with an uppercut. You know, Dany's done. Like, she's gone. The best character, like one of the best characters, the most rooted for, was so nice in the beginning of the season, and then she just done. Like I said, you know, you see her getting mad in the beginning. You kind of should. It's kind of like they're building it. They're building it throughout the whole entire season. Yeah, that she's gonna go mad. Yeah, and next episode, I think she's gonna be the worst. Yeah, that's next episode. Tyrion's done. Yeah, especially we see in the trailer of the next episode, she has like a whole army.
I think she's just gonna go and like purge, like she's gonna go Mad King style. Because remember, the Mad King, towards when he was dead, before he died, he was at the point where he didn't trust anyone, and he was like blaming everyone, like you're a traitor, and he was cutting their heads off and burning them. That's how Ned Stark's dad died. Yeah, he cut his head off and stuff. I think she's gonna be at that point where it's like the Mad King. It was like, I don't trust anyone, and start killing people, like this guy's head, this guy's head, this guy's head, this girl's head. Like, she's gonna start taking the heads of everyone. That's what I think personally. I think she's gonna go that route. Yeah, for sure. That's how it switches. So, we'll conspire about who she thinks is gonna kill. But I think that's one route it's gonna go. One thing to point out, Bran had a vision in season 6, right? About the Mad King and all that stuff, and so. One scene that I caught, Drogon was flying over the city, and there's a shadow on the houses. That same scene was in the flashback, and then when he was thinking. So was it? Yeah, he's seen a vision in season 6 of a dragon flying over King's Landing, and that scene was also in this episode.
So yeah, so Bran knows what's happening right now.
Yeah, Bran, he can't see too in depth into the future.
But he has visions.
But he has visions and thoughts, and he sees a little bit. And how he determines and deciphers that is up to him. But he's seen that one Drogon part, and he didn't decipher it enough. But yeah. So,
what becomes of Dany Drogon after Dany dies? Or maybe does Dany die? I don't know.
Maybe not. How would you feel if Dany was like the one on the throne at the end? And
I don't know.
It would be an open ending for me.
Yeah, it'd be an open ending. It would be like, I don't know
maybe what's gonna happen. Continue at some point, or maybe there's like, the way I look at Game of Thrones is very different to how I look at other movies and shows. I look at it as if it's real life. In terms of, I don't think it's real life. Obviously, I'm not like that stupid, but I think of it as real life events. Real life events don't end happily, or they don't end like in the way we want them to end, right? They end how they play out. So Dany being on the throne, even though I don't personally think it's gonna happen, I think would be a pretty cool way to end the thing. Like
her, like she got what she wanted, but she suffered.
And she's on the throne, and there's like nothing left. Destroyed for her to, you know. And like it'd be almost like a breaking of the wheel, but like in a different way, you know, like burnt the wheel kind of thing, you know. I don't know. We can speculate on how it's gonna end.
Or maybe she might take her army and go to the next lands.
Essos. Take off Essos and all that stuff?
Yeah, but she already did. So.
Yeah, she already kind of took over all that. Okay, so Arya still has a name on her list.
The green eyes? Does Dany's eyes green? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Okay, so Dany's eyes are technically green, but that's only in the show. In the books, they're supposed to be purple. But
what if it's a dragon?
The main thing is, Arya came to kill the queen. Yeah. We hear it as she said. She didn't specify Cersei. She said, I'm gonna kill the queen. Now that Dany's the queen, is she gonna? And now that Dany's the queen, and the prophecy says green eyes, is that where it's taking her?
I think it might. I think
might that's have a problem with that though.
You think there's a problem with that?
I have a problem with
What
that.
was it? What is the problem?
We have Arya killing two of the biggest villains in the show. I don't know how I feel.
Arya
about
is a Stark.
Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about giving one character both of those. Because at that point, she's like...
I feel like it would be the most hit to us if Jon killed her.
I think Jon would be the most emotional.
Because she loves him.
Yeah, I think that would be the most emotional. I think Jon killing her after finding out they have a baby in her belly
Yeah.
would be even crazier. I think that's like an emotional scene where it's like, yo, fuck. And Jon really has to like... Because I forgot what prophecy it was, but the person who sits on the throne is going to end up betraying their family and killing someone they love. So... If Jon's to sit on that throne, I think he's gonna have to kill Dany. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's Game of Thrones. To be honest, the majority of the predictions made are all wrong. So it's Game of Thrones.
I was looking back. I think we got if like 90% of things wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's Game of Thrones. I don't really know
Yeah.
what to speculate, especially for the last episode.
I'm just kind of happy
It's gonna be a plot twist. I'm expecting a plot twist.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I don't think it's gonna end as happy as we think.
I don't think either. It's gonna be satisfying. So
Yeah. Someone sent me the spoilers, and I was so tempted to look. Don't.
don't.
I don't want to.
Just like 5 more days, 6 more
Yeah,
days.
exactly. All right, so we're gonna show the trailer right now. Boom. If you're on YouTube, you're gonna see the trailer. If not, you're gonna hear me continue talking. Cool. All right, so we'll go back up. In that trailer, Jon and Davos. It starts off with Jon and Davos. They're walking through the town, and there's like burnt bodies on the side. Everything's ashes.
Yeah.
So now we know that prophecy. Remember when Dany was walking through the thing? It was
it's
snow,
real.
It was ashes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real. Like that scene's they're gonna show that.
It wasn't snow. It was ashes.
But like, I love how they left it kind of open end, where we thought it would probably be snow, but it was actually ashes. So it kind of gave it like a double meaning to it, which I really like that.
Yeah.
The fact that this whole time, because when I seen that originally, I'm like, yo, that's probably
Snow.
And that's probably the Night King. They went to the thing. That's why we thought the Night King goes south and stuff, right? And now that it was ashes and that Dany's just standing in what she created, it was pretty dope. But yeah, they walked through the thing. Tyrion looks very scared walking.
Tyrion looks scared. I feel kind of like bad for Tyrion.
Yeah,
because he kind of helped the wrong person.
Yeah, he was kind of, at the end of the day, he was so... I feel bad for Jon in that sense, too.
Yeah.
For both of them, because they both...
Sansa's going to kick his ass.
Oh, Sansa is going to have a lot to say. I think
Sansa's going to kick his ass.
But, yeah, both of those characters, they were just, till the end, until they seen it happen, they were just rooting for, like, they're like, okay, yeah. Even, I think, last episode, like, Tyrion is like, yeah, you're the rightful queen, and like you're a just queen, like you're gonna do good for everyone, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna break the chain. And Jon's like, yeah, that's my queen. And until the very end,
even Jon till the very end said that's the queen.
That's his queen, and then lit everything up. So Tyrion's really scared. That's where I come in and say he's gonna get fucking his head cut off. He's gonna be one of those people that gets his head cut off. I think. Who else is left?
Not many people left. The Starks are left.
I think she's gonna call for like Sansa's head.
She might, or Sansa and Jon and everyone might be gathered and talking to her, and then she might be like, cut her head off or something. Jon's like, no, don't cut her head off.
Yeah.
Some
but
shit like
Sansa's
that.
already in the north still.
Yeah, she might come. I don't know.
I think she's.
That's what I'm saying. So much speculation. Like we can go anywhere, but like it's gonna play out the way it's gonna play out. We just don't know what's happening.
What if she puts the order to Jon to take Sansa's head, or his head will be taken, and at that point he has to make that decision. Flip one way, kill her. I think and I forgot to mention this. I know I was wrong about Grey Worm dying and having a fight with Jaime, but I think we're getting a Grey Worm and Jon fight.
Jeez.
I think we're getting
Jon's gonna crush him, but
because
yeah, we saw a little bit of heat.
We saw a little bit of them, like, you know, Grey Worm was looking back at him. If Jon is to kill Cersei, not Cersei, sorry, Dany,
he has to go through Grey Worm first.
Grey Worm. So I feel it's there. Grey Worm I think Grey Worm is gonna stick with Dany till death.
Yeah, he is.
You know, because she's the one that freed him.
And you can see that. I think that was another, I guess, foreshadowing of what's gonna happen when Grey Worm. As soon as Grey Worm heard that the city's burning and she's burning the city, he automatically threw the spear at the guy, even though he surrendered.
Yeah, he was ready. He's sticking with it. So I think
he wants to pay back revenge for what's the girl's
Missandei.
Yeah, Missandei, his girlfriend.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're getting a Grey Worm, John battle, which would be pretty lit. I think that'd be super lit. So yeah, I think
John's gonna smoke him.
yeah, but Grey Worm is not bad either. Grey Worm's he's the leader of the Unsullied, the most trained people in the world, right, in terms of combat. So he's obviously pretty good too. So it'll be a good fight, but I think they obviously have to let John win.
I hope it's super cinematic.
It's plot armor, right? Yeah, I hope it's really like cinematic and it's almost like a champions duel kind of thing. So Arya arrives in King's Landing. She's behind the thing, and I think she's looking at Dany. Dany's probably standing on the ledge or something, like talking to her people, and she's just looking in disgust, like she's gonna kill this person. I think I think she's gonna go for it. I don't know if she gets
Arya? She's gonna go for it.
Yeah.
I just don't want. I don't know. I felt like the last 2-3 minutes where the horse scene came in. I don't know how that horse survived, first of all, but I felt like that was a waste of time.
You know what I think that was?
What?
I think that was Bran working into a horse to save Arya and get her out of there.
I don't know about all that, but
because what kind of hinted it to me is when that horse came, you know, from the first couple seasons, the Stark music, that it came on. It was that. It was like a slightly different version, but it was that. So I felt like that was just like Bran working into a horse to get her out of there, kind of thing, because she has a part to play in the next part, and she can't die there.
Yeah.
So that's what
maybe. I don't know. We have to look at the horse's eyes.
See, I think I should have been a writer, because that's why I would have made it. That would, like, if there's no reason for that horse, then like I'm gonna be pissed. But if that's the reason, then that's a pretty dope reason.
You would never really find out unless Bran said it himself.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. We end off the trailer. Dany walks out. She looks like she's about to give a speech. I don't know what she's gonna say.
Like a Hitler type of speech, you know?
Yeah, that was like a very Hitler moment where like everyone's just on the sides. They're all looking at her, and she's like stepping out. It was just Queen of the Ashes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what.
I don't know why I can't even speculate what's gonna go on in the next episode, but it's gonna go. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Do you have any predictions? Let's throw some speculation out there.
Okay. The biggest thing, who gets the throne? I think. You know, it kind of works in both favors. I think Game of Thrones is evil enough to put Dany up there, but the happy ending would be Jon up there and Dany's death. So I think that might be the route. One of those two. Yeah, the biggest speculations. I mean, the most obvious speculations, but I think that would be those two.
To me, I think
there might be a battle between Unsullied and North.
You think so?
Might be a battle. Tyrion might die.
I think this is gonna be a very political episode. I don't think it's gonna be a battle.
I like those episodes. Those are fun.
It's very political because, like, when you think about season finales in the past, they're very political. It's all like the stirring of the pot, like, you know, like at the end, right? It's like there's always the last episode is always like a big battle or whatever, and then the last episode is the stirring of the pot. I think there's gonna be a lot of stirring of the pot. This person's gonna die. That person's gonna die. I don't think we're gonna get a very closed ending.
We're gonna get cliffhangers.
I think we're gonna get a cliffhanger.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what? Yeah, I don't know why they would do cliffhangers. Like, just end it. Give us that closure. But then again...
But here's the thing. If you think about it, the way the writers write Game of Thrones is it's like a real life. They have a whole history, all that stuff.
Yeah, everything.
Real life doesn't have a closed ending.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even if Donald Trump is to stop being the president today...
There'll be another one tomorrow.
And it just keeps going. And I think that's what they're going for. It's like, they've created this universe...
that they want to keep feeding.
They just want to keep feeding it, and like pretty much where it ends is the current moment. Like that's where we are right now, and so what's gonna happen next is gonna unfold. You know, I think they want to keep an open ending because these guys, like HBO's, like they're funding, like they're gonna fund like crazy. They wanted to keep going, right? I think it was the show guys that wanted to end it, but they want to keep going, and this is a cash cow for them. I think they're just gonna leave it a little open ending, so if they want to touch on it later on, or they want to write a history about it later on, all that stuff, they can.
Maybe the best open ending would be Dany on the throne, everyone else dead.
Yeah.
Or like maybe, you know, like runaways of Jon Snow, and like Jon Snow goes away,
or both of them die.
Both of them die, and like
both of them die. Then at that point, who's left to qualified? It's probably Sansa.
Tyrion and Sansa.
Yeah,
and they get married. Like
they look like they were trying to rekindle that marriage.
Yeah, they did. So yeah, next week's episode is gonna be insane.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that the show is ending. It's crazy.
You think so?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of.
I would have liked another season in there just to show the details a little more. But like,
I think,
like you said, they're just rushing.
I think
right?
that's the biggest issue with everyone they have with it is the fact HBO gave them the green light to go as long as they want. It's the two showrunners, Dave and Dan. Those are the guys that are writing the series, the show series. They said they wanted to end it by 75 hours. So they wanted to end it at 75 hours. With this currently, it will end at 74 or 73 and a half. I don't know why you put a deadline like that on yourself. They easily could have made last season, this season, a full 2 to 3 seasons, right?
Yeah, with proper detail and like more plot and more stuff like that.
So like,
that's what I'm saying. It was good when the books were out because the books had they had a rhythm to them. You know.
So the 7, and this is 6, right? So that's 13. That's 13 episodes. It could have been a solid 30 episodes, right?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's gonna be at the end of the day. That's gonna be the mistake.
And they took 2 years to shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For what? The battle scenes weren't even that great.
No.
Helm's Deep was way better. Way better.
Yeah.
Battle of the Five Armies was way better. Way better.
The 5 armies is only better because of the competition.
Okay, but I'm just saying, you know, the dragon burned down everything. Like, I mean, like, what is this,
we expected
RuneScape?
a battle out of that too. It wasn't even close.
I'm disappointed in battle scenes of Game of Thrones. That's for sure.
For this season.
For this season, I'm disappointed. The Battle of the Bastards was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing battle.
Yeah, Hardhome was amazing.
Hardhome was amazing battle.
I'm still kind of happy about the
Blackwaters was amazing battle.
I'm still okay with the White Walker one. This one was not really a battle, so
That was not a battle. It was just Conquer.
Yeah. But hopefully they learn from this because they have a spin-off coming, obviously, about the first night and how the White Walkers came and all that stuff.
That's gonna be fun. I hope there's books about it. I hope there is.
I don't know. I'm not too sure, but I think hopefully they do this one right. Like they ended off right, or like, you know, they learned the mistake. Like Game of Thrones is not a perfect show at the end of the day. They made some mistakes. I think that other show can learn from it.
I think 95% of their mistakes were in this season. From my opinion, I mean,
last 2 seasons.
I'd say like
last season,
maybe 20% last season, but like
so
majority.
You think the last season was better than this season, or this season's better?
I think because this season gives us more closure. I think this season is better and more action, longer episodes, and all that. Like there's more plot development.
So season 7 is the worst one, you think?
Season 7 is probably the worst one, but
I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, no, I think season 7 is definitely less better than this one, but I feel like I like season 7 more, even though it's like worse, because you get to see more character development in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get to see more details.
Yeah.
This episode is so rushed, right? But action-wise and narrative-wise and all that, I do like this one better than season 7 because, you know, it's the finale.
It's ending.
But I think I like season 7, even though it's worse, but I still like it more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Season 6 and above is just amazing, pure, like beautiful.
It stopped being amazing to me halfway into season 5.
Yeah.
Like that, it started rubbing off midway to season 5. I think what season 5 was Hardhome. Was season 5 Hardhome? No.
Season 6 and it was Hard Home.
No, season 6 was Hardhome.
Season 6 ending was the Hard Home. Because then you remember, and then they like.
Wasn't the Battle of the Bastards season 6 ending? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I mean, we can fact check that later. We'll talk about that. But what's it called? So yeah, let's hope this final season, this final episode, you know, it pleases everyone. You know, I think everyone just has to, you know, take a step back, let the emotions run off. Watch it again.
That's probably what it is. You know, they're just conflicting with what they thought the ending was going to be and what they want the ending to be what it is, and what the ending actually is. They're just conflicting, and that's why their hatred comes out. Yeah, which is hatred and you know, most senses. You know what I mean? When people just fight. Yeah. Another podcast on that. Yeah. On hatred.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think we just have to give it some perspective. I think that's what it's going to be. But I think it's going to end. Yeah. I think it's going to be good. Fuck, I have the spoilers in my phone and I want to read it, but I don't want to read it. Like, I'm urging it's going to be a tough 5 days. All right, guys. This is the second last episode of our Game of Thrones podcast. Obviously, when the new show drops, we will be doing that too. If you guys have other shows, movies, all the stuff that you want us to break down and talk about, if you guys have any show suggestions, because after this, I have no shows.
Vikings.
Vikings
Maybe.
might be the wave. You know,
I haven't caught up on Vikings yet, so
I don't know. It might be the wave still. I heard it goes bad after that guy does though.
no. I heard that it goes bad for like a season and then it comes back.
It comes
after.
back good.
Yeah. But there's no show that's gonna be like Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think maybe.
I don't know. Actually, the last season of Game of Thrones, there might be a show like that, but the rest of it, I don't think so.
Yeah, nah. Game of Thrones just set the bar. To me, no matter what happens on Sunday, it's still my favorite
Yeah,
show
for
of
sure,
all time.
for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Keep on Game of Thrones.